Today we have 5 summer ales, guys, and here's how it works. Michael and Nick, our videographers, chose 5 beers that I cannot see that you can see that are in front of the box, poured them into these mysterious blind tasting glasses. I'm going to drink through them, comment, and then pick a favorite. Diving right into sample number 1. Smells very basic. A little bit of appley character, doughy malt, very little hop on the nose. Smells like something I get at my uncle's barbecue. Okay. Okay. This is going to be fun, isn't it? It doesn't taste like much. A little bit of doughy malt carrying through in the flavor and texture. Very little hop note. A little bit of green apple. Light, easy drinking. Maybe a little bit of wheat in the background. Moving on to sample number 2. Smells a little bit like crackers, doughy malt. Very little hop aroma. Oh. That one has a little bit more hop character going on. Yeah, a little bit of resin on the finish. I kind of dig that versus sample number 1 so far. Surprising amount of hop character there. Saturated, a little bit of pine on the finish, oily hop. Tough to tell what type of base malt is going on there, but not bad. Sample number 3. Man, these things don't smell like much. Doughy malt, green apple. Little bit of floral something going on in the nose. Sample number 3. Is that like a lemon lime thing going on? What in the world? It's either lemon or lime. It's hard to say, but it does not taste appealing in that beer. All right, sample number 3 was interesting, to say the least. Sample number 4. One thing that I do want to say is that, guys, for you watching at home, I don't know what I'm drinking, and oftentimes drinking beer out of a black cup like this, like you guys have seen on the channel, is way, way harder than you probably think. You get no impression of color. You know, you don't prime your senses with what you're looking at. Is it hazy? Is it clear, etc.? You just rely totally on your senses, and it's a little bit oftentimes disorienting to know exactly what's going on. That one's a little sharper, a little bit drier on the finish, which I kind of like. Hop-wise, it falls somewhere between samples number 1 and number 2, with number 2 being the hoppiest and with number 1 being the lightest. This guy falls somewhere in the middle. Moving on to the final sample in the 2024 Summer Ale blind tasting. Man, I don't know if it's just being outside or what, but I'm not getting a lot of aroma on any of these. That's a little trick that we learned in the brewery is if you want to get a good aroma from a beer, agitate it, let the foam build up, CO2 comes out of solution, hold your hand there, and then dive right in. A little bit of skunkiness, light floral hop, maybe a tiny amount of wheat character. Hard to say. I don't love that. It's got a really weird lingering kind of polyphenolic note. All right, so as we so often do, we go through the 5, we get our first impressions, and then we dive back in. I think there's a small enough number of samples here that I can rank them. Certainly I'm going to pick my favorite, and then I'm going to try to rank samples 1 through 5 in the order of which I personally enjoy them. Going back in. You got to remember, it's my job to dissect these things down to their basic elements. But if you're at home and you're at the barbecue, any of these are going to drink fine this summer. That much is for sure. In terms of how I would rank them, first guy, really simple, wheat, maybe a hint of lemon, straightforward beer. I really enjoyed it. Sample number 2, ton of character, by far the most enjoyable hop character of this bunch. Really nice. Sample number 3, really kind of strange for my palate, lemon lime thing. Didn't really hit me in a way that I enjoyed. Sample number 4 was a nice combination of samples number 1 and 2. A little bit of hop character, a little bit of grain character in the background. Really nice drinking beer, and I found it to be like a combination of samples 1 and 2. And then sample number 5 for me was kind of non-distinct, didn't really stand out in any meaningful way, and I, don't have too much else to say about it other than that. In terms of how I would rank them, sample number 2 was absolutely my favorite. Having a hard time with number 2. I guess it's a tie between samples number 1 and samples number 4. Again, sample 4 is like a nice combination of samples 1 and 2. It depends on what you want. If you want a little bit more character and texture, sample number 4 is probably for you. If you want something that's a little bit lighter and easier drinking, then maybe sample number 1. So again, sample 2 is my number 1. Samples 1 and 4 are tied for my number 2. Sample number 5 would be my number 3. Again, it drank fine, but just didn't have the pop of the ones that came in ahead of it. And then my least favorite of today's sampling was sample number 3. I just thought the lemon, lime, and whatever else character was going on in there was a little bit heavy-handed. What are we drinking?
All right, your number 1 is Sierra Nevada Summerfest.
Okay.
Refreshing Summer Lager.
Yeah, I love that. I love picking Sierra.
We have a tie for number 2 between Jack's Abbey Porch Fest Refreshing Summer Lager, and that one is Wachusett Summer Ale. So
this is Jack's Abbey.
Wachusett Summer Ale.
Right on, local boys. Love to see it.
One on the end, Harpoon Summer Style.
Okay.
And the last one is Sam Adams Summer Ale.
I haven't had one in so long. It's been like 10 years. All right, well, this was fun. A lot of local boys. This is a New England regional based kind of tasting that we had going on here today, except for Sierra Nevada, which did come in as my favorite. That's all for today, guys. You can't go wrong with any of these summer ales. Get subscribed to the channel. Thanks for watching, and have a great rest of your day.